turning away from skinny-tie new wave groups towards something, well, harder and more provocative.
At the time we were coming out was like the big heyday of like new wave, like the Knack and those kind of bands, and which is cool, but it was time for change.
I had seen Tommy at the Starwood Club, and he knew Vince.
They found Nick, in a newspaper called The Recycler.
He was loud and aggressive guitar player, and my name and a phone number, and I got a call from Nicky.
He shows up, he looks like something out of the Addams Family. He's standing at the front door. We're going, wow, this is wild, man. Let's listen to this guy play. He played unbelievable. He brought his Marshall stacks inside Nicky's little house that he lived in, and he was just cranking, and that was cool. And then we were looking for a singer. Motley Crue did have another singer. We had this guy that lasted about 2 days, who was real strange. And so Nicky goes, Tommy, don't you know any other guys? So I go, yeah, I went to school with this guy. He's my bud, but he's in another band. He goes, well, it doesn't matter. Let's just, we'll go steal him out of that band.
I was playing at the Starwood one night, and the three of them came down.
He blew out the first audition. We called him. We're all waiting for him. We're waiting. And they're all looking at me. Tommy, where's your bud? I go, I said he was coming, man. I don't know.
And I never showed up.
So I drove by his house and said, man, what's up, dude? Why didn't you come by? And he said, well, I don't know if I want to play with you guys, And it was just real weird. And then finally, I guess some weird happened in his band, and he did come the next day in the audition, and that was it.
The fledgling Crue built up a following through the time-honored method of playing non-stop local gigs, but they went on to chart a do-it-yourself course that many succeeding LA metal bands have followed.
We pooled our money together, and we got enough money to record 2 songs and make a 45.
We recorded those to get people to come up to the front, to stand near us. So we'd go, come here, here's a record, come on, stay there.
We'd be playing, Vince would be going, we'd just be flinging them out, and pretty soon it was like, it took off like a weed, just word of mouth.
Motley Crue followed up their 1981 demo single with an independently produced album called Too Fast for Love. Meanwhile, on stage, in the tradition of such acts as Alice Cooper and Kiss, they began designing their own stage spectacles, complete with glam bam wardrobe, lots of props, and home-brewed pyrotechnic effects.
We used to experiment in our apartment, and we'd blow stuff up all the time. That's where we learned how to light Nicky on fire.
I think I was usually the one that came up with the idea, and then they were usually the ones that nodded their heads, and so it always ended up being me that got torched.
One day he goes, hey, T-Bone, we got any rubbing alcohol around? I go, yeah, I think there's some in the bathroom. We all lived in this one apartment together, and I go grab the rubbing alcohol, and Vince and I would douse Nicky with, and we'd put it on. He was wearing leather pants, so he wouldn't get burned, right? I mean, we were trying to be safe about this. And we just put it on his, like from his knees down to his shoes, and then we just light him on fire, and you stand there burning. Then we took that to the stage.
Even if it was a little hokey at times, it worked.
In 1982, Motley Crue got signed by a major label, Elektra Records, which re-released the group's Too Fast for Love LP. In 1983 came the band's Shout at the Devil album and the first of many major image shifts. Theater of Pain yielded the Crue's first top 40 single, which turned out to be a cover of a 1973 Brownsville station hit, Smokin' in the Boys' Room. By 1987, the band had discarded most of its makeup and stripped its sound back down to basics. The title track of their new album, Girls, 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 turned into another hit single, and the LP itself stormed up the charts. In fact, it seemed poised to go all the way to the top, but then suddenly it stopped at number 2.
When the Girls, Girls, Girls album went to number 2, and we knew what the sales were that week, and we all of a sudden, it's like, when you're about to go number 1, you find out a lot of stuff. You get very interested. And that week, Whitney Houston debuted at number 1, but we sold the most records in the nation. And that really pissed us off. And all of a sudden, it was a goal.
That goal was finally realized with Motley Crue's next album, Dr. Feelgood, which went to #1 in October 1989. Validation at last for a band that had helped launch the now booming LA metal explosion years before.
No respect.
We are the Rodney Dangerfields of rock.
No matter how much a band says, oh, we don't care, we don't read our reviews, you know, that's true to a point, but to be accepted is a real good feeling too.
We weren't taken seriously for the whole first part of our career, you know? I mean, most people didn't think we were going to last.
One major reason for Motley Crue's unusual staying power has been the group's videos, which in traditionally rude rock fashion have mixed together everything from dopey occult trappings to bikes and babes and on-the-road imagery. Nothing really new, but in their own musical sphere, these clips have had a certain influence.
In this day and age, you know, video is a big thing, and you know, you expect to see a video from a song, and if you don't, you know, it's like there's something missing now.
All I wanted to do was play drums, but my parents thought that, you know, maybe a good thing for me to do is learn an accordion. And then I got an amp. This is the coolest. I got this, like, guitar amp, because my accordion, you could plug it in, and then I just cranked this thing on 10 for distortion, turn the speakers around, open my bedroom window, and crank Smoke on the Water. I was getting all heavy, you know. I wanted everybody to hear it. I tried to make it sound like a guitar, you know. Friends would ask me, hey man, was that you playing the accordion? No man, I got a guitar, man. I got a guitar.